So, you've tried Garcinia cambogia, you've tried green tea extract, you've tried all the big-name supplements filling the shelves, all promising to melt fat away. You've listened to the gurus, bought the powders, and swallowed the pills. But if you're watching this, chances are the number on the scale is still stuck, that stubborn layer of fat is still there, and you're starting to feel like you're the problem. And that feeling is real. It's more than just frustrating, it's demoralizing. You put in the work, you say no to dessert, you try to hit the gym, you do all the things you're supposed to do, and the results are either painfully slow or just not there. You see these incredible transformation stories and can't help but wonder, what on earth are they doing that I'm not? What's the secret? You scroll through your phone and get buried in conflicting advice. One expert says eat more fat, another says cut it out completely. One video preaches high-intensity training, the next promotes long, slow cardio. It's an information whirlpool that leaves you exhausted, confused, and just about ready to throw in the towel. It makes you feel like your body is broken, like your metabolism is uniquely stubborn, and that maybe, just maybe, losing this weight isn't in the cards for you. But what if the problem isn't you? What if it's the tools you've been given? What if the solution isn't about adding a dozen more complicated steps to your day? And what if it's not found in that brightly lit supplement aisle, packed with bottles all making the same tired promises? What if the answer is a single, powerful ingredient, a humble spice, known for centuries in a specific part of the world, that modern science is only now beginning to truly understand? An ingredient that doesn't just give you a temporary jolt, but seems to speak to your body on a more fundamental level, nudging it to unlock its own natural fat-burning potential. We're not talking about another synthetic chemical cooked up in a lab. We're talking about a spice from West Africa, a place rich with traditional wisdom. Some interesting new research suggests this one ingredient might help flip a hidden switch inside of you, a switch that tells your body to burn fat for fuel, especially the most stubborn kind. And the best part? You've probably never heard of it. Stick with me, because what I'm about to share could be the key you've been looking for. The great supplement deception asterisk. Before we get to this incredible ingredient, we have to talk about the elephant in the room. We need to talk about why you feel so stuck and why so many of those other supplements may not have worked for you. It's not your fault. And understanding this is the first real step toward progress. You've been caught in what I call the great supplement deception. Think about how it usually goes. You hear about a new fat burner. An ad pops up, or a friend mentions it. The claims are huge. Melt fat overnight. Boost metabolism by 300%. Target stubborn belly fat. You buy it. Full of hope. For the first few days, maybe you feel a little something, a bit more energy, a slight dip in appetite. You're optimistic. But after a week or two, that feeling fades. The scale isn't budging, the mirror looks the same, and you're left with a nearly full bottle of expensive pills and a deep sense of disappointment. Sound familiar? You're not alone. This is the cycle for millions. The wellness industry is a multi-billion-dollar machine that often thrives on promises, but frequently fails to deliver for a few key reasons. First, let's talk about tolerance. Many popular fat-burning ingredients are stimulants. Caffeine is the big one, found in everything from green tea extract to pre-workout powders. Stimulants work by revving up your central nervous system, which can increase your metabolic rate and help you burn more calories. But here's the catch. Your body is smart. It craves balance. When you keep flooding it with stimulants, it adapts by becoming less sensitive. That initial jolt of energy becomes your new normal, and the metabolic benefit shrinks or even disappears. You end up needing more just to feel baseline energetic, let alone to get any real fat-burning benefit. Second, there's dosage and quality. The supplement industry can be like the Wild West. A study might show a compound is effective at 500 milligrams, but a company might put only 50 milligrams in their formula, fill the rest with rice flour, and then splash the study's findings all over their marketing. They aren't technically lying, the ingredient is in there, but it's at a dose that's totally ineffective. This is a sneaky practice called fairy dusting. The source of ingredients also matters immensely. Think of Ceylon cinnamon versus cassia cinnamon. One is highly beneficial, the other can be harmful in large amounts. The same is true for countless herbs. Unless you're an expert, it's almost impossible to know if you're getting a potent product or just ground up plant matter with zero active compounds. Third, and maybe the most important point, is that many supplements only target one small piece of a huge metabolic puzzle. Your body's ability to store and burn fat is governed by a symphony of hormones, enzymes, and cellular signals. It's not a simple on-off switch. Some supplements, like Garcinia cambogia, have been studied for their effects on appetite and fat production, but the results in human trials have been mixed and often not very significant. Others, like green tea extract, do show a modest but statistically significant effect on weight loss in some studies, though the results aren't always dramatic. It's like trying to fix a car that won't start by only checking the tires. You can polish them, inflate them, buy the most expensive ones on the market, but if the problem is the engine, that car isn't going anywhere. For too long, you've been polishing your tires. It's time to stop looking for another temporary jolt and start looking for the key to the engine itself. The intrigue, a forgotten secret from West Africa, asterisk? Let's shift our focus away from the lab and the supplement store for a minute. Let's head to a different part of the world, a place where ancient wisdom and nature's pharmacy have been woven together for thousands of years. We're going to West Africa, a region known for its vibrant cultures and a deep understanding of botanical medicine. For centuries, long before anyone ever said metabolism or thermogenesis, the people of this region were using a particular spice. It wasn't just for flavor, though its unique taste was treasured. It was used in traditional medicine as a warming agent, a digestive aid, and a way to boost vitality. It was both a culinary gem and a guarded secret of herbal healers, who recognized it had a powerful effect on the body, an ability to generate internal heat and energy that few other plants could match. This wasn't some product of modern marketing, it was a cornerstone of traditional life, its power observed and passed down through generations. In a world saturated with quick fixes, we often forget that nature itself has created some of the most sophisticated compounds on the planet. This is where the story gets really interesting. Scientists, looking for new answers to weight management, started exploring ethnobotany, the study of how different cultures use native plants. They began investigating ancient remedies, not as folklore, but as a roadmap to undiscovered biochemical pathways. And their search led them right back to West Africa. And to this one, specific, almost forgotten spice. They took it into the lab to isolate its active compounds. What they started to uncover was fascinating. It didn't seem to work like caffeine or other common stimulants. It appeared to do something more fundamental. Early research suggests it communicates with a special type of fat in our bodies, a type most people don't even know they have, and seems to instruct it to start burning calories at a higher rate. This wasn't just a theory. Researchers began conducting small studies, first in animals and then in humans. The initial results were promising. They observed increases in energy expenditure and some evidence of a reduction in body fat, all without the jittery side effects of common stimulants. The ancient wisdom was starting to be validated by modern science. The internal heat described by healers centuries ago was now being measured in a lab as thermogenesis. The secret was getting out. The big reveal, grains of paradise asterisk. The spice we've been talking about, this intriguing key to your fat-burning potential, is called Thyme's grains of paradise asterisk. Its scientific name is Aphromomum meligetta, and it's in the same family as ginger and turmeric, two other spices famous for their health benefits. But grains of paradise is unique. The seeds are small and reddish-brown, and when you crush them, they release this wonderfully complex aroma. The flavor is a journey. It starts floral and peppery, then finishes with warm, woody notes. It also has some great nicknames. One of the most common is alligator pepper, supposedly because the bumpy seed pods look a bit like an alligator's back. The name, grains of paradise, was coined by medieval European traders who, captivated by its exotic flavor, spun tales that it grew only in the Garden of Eden to drive up the price. But the real magic isn't in the name or the flavor, it's in its chemical makeup. Like its cousins, it's packed with bioactive compounds. The one that has scientists particularly excited, the one that acts as a key player in its metabolic effects, is a phenolic compound called Thyme 6-Paradol asterisk. Remember that name, 6-Paradol. It's a major active compound in grains of paradise and the hero of our story. It's similar in structure to capsaicin from chili peppers, but it acts differently in the body. While capsaicin can cause that fiery burn and sometimes upset your stomach, 6-Paradol provides a gentle warming sensation without the harsh irritation. More importantly, its effect on your fat cells seems to be much more sophisticated. This isn't just about adding a new spice to your rack, though you certainly can. This is about understanding that within these tiny, ancient seeds lies a powerful compound that emerging science suggests could fundamentally change the way your body manages energy. For too long, you've been fighting a battle against your body. Grains of Paradise, and specifically 6-Paradol, offers a way to stop fighting and start communicating. The science made simple, how it might flip your fat-burning switch, asterisks. This is where we get into the how. When you understand the proposed mechanism, you'll see why this is so different from anything you've tried before. A tale of two fats, the villain and the hero, asterisk. First, you need to know that not all fat in your body is the same. We usually think of fat as just fat, that inert, jiggly stuff that stores calories. But you actually have two main types of fat with opposite jobs. The first is Thyme's white adipose tissue, WAD asterisk. This is the fat we all know and struggle with, the stuff on your belly, hips, and thighs. Its main job is to store energy. Think of it as your body's pantry. When you eat more calories than you burn, the excess gets stored in these white fat cells for a famine that never comes. This is the storage fat, the villain of our story. But there's another kind of fat, a metabolic superhero, called times brown adipose tissue, BAT. This is the good guy. Brown fat doesn't store energy, it times burns it. Its cells are packed with mitochondria, the tiny power plants inside your cells, which give the fat its brownish color. The main job of brown fat is to produce heat, a process called thermogenesis. When brown fat is activated, it pulls fat and sugar from your blood and burns them up to generate heat. Think of it this way. White fat is a pile of firewood stacked in your yard. Brown fat is the roaring fireplace inside your house, actively burning through that wood to keep you warm. As infants, we have lots of brown fat to stay warm. But as we age, the amount of active brown fat tends to decrease. For many people with a slow metabolism, their metabolic fireplace has dwindled to just a few embers. The goal, then, is to reignite that brown fat to turn those embers back into a fire. Paradol, the key to the fireplace asterisk. So, how do we do that? This is where grains of paradise and its active compound, asterisk, 6-paradol asterisk, come into play. Emerging research suggests that 6-paradol acts as a unique signaling molecule that can help wake up your brown fat. It seems to mimic the effects of being exposed to cold, the body's natural trigger for brown fat activation, without you having to take an ice bath. Flipping the thermogenesis switch, the scientific proof asterisk. Now, this isn't just a nice theory. It's backed by some interesting, though preliminary, human clinical research. It's important to note that most studies so far have been small and short-term, so the evidence is not yet conclusive, but the findings are promising. For instance, a landmark 2013 study in the British Journal of Nutrition looked at this exact idea. Researchers gave a group of men a 40 milligrams dose of grains of paradise extract. They found that in the men who had active brown fat, their energy expenditure, the number of calories they were burning, shot up significantly after taking the extract, while the placebo group saw no change. The grains of paradise had seemingly turned up their metabolic thermostat. Building on this, a 2014 study went a step further, looking at fat loss over 4 weeks in a small group of young women. The group taking 30 milligrams of the extract daily saw a significant reduction in visceral fat, that deep, dangerous abdominal fat around your organs, compared to the placebo group. This is a crucial point because visceral fat is a major driver of metabolic disease. More recent research continues to explore this. One 2022 study on a branded extract called AFPerfit found that overweight adults taking the supplement for 12 weeks had a significant increase in energy expenditure and a reduction in body weight and visceral fat compared to the placebo group. What these small studies suggest is that grains of paradise may work by activating brown fat, which in turn increases the total calories you burn throughout the day. Reviving dormant fat burners? Asterisk. But what if you don't have much active brown fat? Here's where the science gets even more compelling, though it's still very early. A fascinating 2021 study looked at this very question in men with low brown fat activity. After 5 weeks of taking a grains of paradise extract, their resting metabolism hadn't changed much. However, when exposed to cold, their body's ability to generate heat, a direct measure of brown fat activity, was significantly higher compared to when they took a placebo. Even more, their body fat percentage showed a small but significant decrease. This suggests that, over time, grains of paradise might help the body rebuild some of its fat-burning machinery. While animal studies point to the possibility of converting some white fat into active brown fat, the evidence for this happening in humans is still developing. The idea is that you could be helping your body transform itself from a storage unit into a furnace. This is a hot topic in metabolic research, and this humble African spice is at the center of the conversation. How to use grains of paradise for maximum effect asterisks? Understanding the science is one thing, but putting it into practice is what gets results. So let's talk about how to use grains of paradise effectively. Supplements versus culinary use. What's the best approach? Asterisk, you have 2 main options: using the whole spice in cooking or taking a concentrated supplement. Using it as a spice is a great way to start. You can buy the seeds online or in specialty shops, grind them up, and use them instead of black pepper. The flavor is fantastic on meats, roasted vegetables, or even in soups. However, if your main goal is metabolic support, there's a catch. The concentration of the active compound, 6-paradol, can vary a lot in the raw spice. It's tough to know if you're getting a dose similar to what was used in studies. This is where supplements come in. High-quality grains of paradise supplements are standardized to provide a consistent dose of 6-paradol. This is key because all the successful human studies used a concentrated extract. With a supplement, you know you're getting the amount of the active ingredient that has been scientifically studied. For the specific goal of supporting your metabolism, a standardized extract is the more reliable choice. the right dosage, and what to look for asterisk. So, what do you look for on the label? The clinical studies have used dosages ranging from 30 milligrams to 40 milligrams of extract per day, while some newer studies have used higher amounts. The most important thing to look for is that the extract is times standardized for its 6-paratol content asterisk. This is the quality marker you need. Look for supplements that state the percentage of 6-paratol, often around 12.5%. This is how you know you're getting the potent, studied form. Avoid products that just say grains of paradise powder without mentioning standardization. And as with any supplement, choose a reputable brand that uses third-party testing to ensure purity and potency. Simple ways to incorporate it asterisk. Taking it is as simple as a small capsule once a day. Many people like taking it in the morning to help kickstart their metabolism, but the timing is flexible. You can just take it with a glass of water. Or you can get creative. I love a metabolic morning tea. Just heat up a mug of water, squeeze in some lemon, and if you have a powder-filled capsule, you can open it up and stir the contents right in. The warm, peppery, citrusy flavor is a fantastic way to wake up your senses and your metabolism. You can also mix the powder into a smoothie. And hey, if you're getting some value out of this deep dive, if a light bulb has gone off, do me a quick favor and hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell. We go beyond the headlines here to give you information that actually works, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. The critical context: this is a supercharger, not a magic pill asterisk. Now, we need to have a very honest chat. I've just told you about the exciting science behind grains of paradise. It's easy to hear all that and think, I finally found it, the magic pill. I have to be crystal clear. That is not what this is. There is no supplement, food, or drug on this planet that can single-handedly make you lean and healthy. Your body is a complex system, and true, lasting change comes from a holistic approach. Please, hear me on this. Don't buy a bottle of grains of paradise and expect it to cancel out a poor diet and a sedentary lifestyle. It won't. That's not its job. Think of it like this. Your fat loss efforts are a car. A healthy diet rich in whole foods is the high-quality fuel. Regular exercise is the engine. Good sleep and stress management are the essential maintenance that keeps it all running smoothly. So where does grains of paradise fit in? It's not the car, the engine, or the fuel. Asterisk, grains of paradise is the turbocharger. Asterisk, a turbocharger doesn't make a car go on its own. But when you add it to a well-built engine with good fuel, it dramatically amplifies its power and performance. It takes all the good things you are already doing and helps them work better. If you add grains of paradise to a healthy lifestyle, it can help supercharge your results. It might help you push past a frustrating plateau. It could support your efforts by preferentially targeting that stubborn visceral fat. It amplifies what you're already doing right. But if you add a turbocharger to a car with no fuel and a broken engine, what happens? Nothing. The same is true here. Finally, a word on safety. For most people, grains of paradise is considered possibly safe when taken short-term at the recommended doses. Human studies have not reported serious adverse effects. However, there isn't enough reliable information on the safety of long-term use. As with any new supplement, it is always a wise and responsible decision to talk to your healthcare provider before adding it to your routine, especially if you are pregnant, breastfeeding, have any health conditions, or take any prescription medications. We started this journey talking about frustration, the frustration of trying everything and feeling like your body is working against you. For so long, the advice has been to fight harder, restrict more, and push your body into submission. But we've learned today that there might be a smarter way. It's not about fighting your body, it's about communicating with it in a language it understands. We've pulled back the curtain on the great supplement deception. We've journeyed to West Africa to uncover a forgotten spice, grains of paradise with a rich history. And most importantly, we've looked at the emerging science. We've learned about the two types of fat, the lazy white fat that stores energy and the heroic brown fat that burns it. We've seen how early human studies suggest that 6-paratol, a key compound in grains of paradise, can activate that brown fat, potentially turning up your body's metabolic furnace and helping to reduce that dangerous visceral fat. This is more than just another supplement. It's a new strategy. It's a way to work with your body, not against it. It's about helping your body's own innate ability to manage energy effectively. So, maybe it's time to stop the endless cycle of hope and disappointment. It's time to start giving your body the right signals to work in harmony with your goals. This one, simple, ancient spice backed by intriguing modern science could be a valuable part of the change you've been looking for. It might just be a key that helps unlock the door to the health, energy, and results you've been working so hard to achieve. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this information was valuable to you, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We have so much more to explore together. Until next time, be well.